Hello, my name is John Long, and I'm a technology program specialist with the School District of Palm Beach County. We'd like to welcome you to our third episode on the FINDS model. FINDS is a research model developed by FAME, the Florida Association for Media and Education, and updated by the Florida Department of Education. What is FINDS? Well, FINDS is a research model, so it talks about F is for the focus, I is for investigate, N is for the note, D is for develop, and S is for share. We've talked about the focus in the first model using Dreamland Burning by Jennifer Latham. They used that book to research different topics from the periods of 1921 to 2021. Last episode last week was on investigate. Investigate was all about finding resources and searching using search engines, databases, and other resources. Today we're going to talk about what to do with those resources in note-taking or note. So we're going to talk about note-taking strategies. How do you teach those to your students? How do you make them better note-takers? We're also going to talk about using Google Keep, a great resource for those colored index cards, but these are digital index cards, and they can store resources for the kids, the students, to actually learn how to take notes and put them into a Google Doc for their organization. Next week, we're going to get into the develop, and that's going to even take it one step further. Finally, in the note-taking, we're going to talk about citations. We sort of talked about it in the investigate last week, but we're going to actually share some other tools that will help students develop a citation for their quotes, their images, and other things to give credit to. So this is a proper research model. We hope you enjoy this episode, and thanks for joining us. Note-taking can be really easy, but it also depends on you, the user. There are different ways that you can use notes. You can create an outline, or if you're a better drawer, use visual or sketch notes. Some teachers use Cornell notes, or use a hybrid approach of any of the above. You can even do between handwriting or using a computer, typing. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, use that approach to note-taking. Some strategies for note-taking. Use what is comfortable for you, from writing to typing or drawing. Brevity is very important. Keep it short, like a tweet or other social media post. Use abbreviations that are helpful. Make sure you understand what you're writing. Only write what you can comprehend. Organize your notes later to make sure they're understandable. You could color code them, organize them, highlight them, create them into a document. Keep them organized and make a digital copy for later use. You may think you may not need them, but you're never sure, especially when they're used for work purposes. For more articles on note-taking, go to our website at edtechtraining.palmbeachschools.org. That's edtechtraining.palmbeachschools.org.
I'm in this area right here because I just wanted to show you really quickly about Google Keep, okay? So Google Keep is a Google application. So you see it everywhere. You probably have seen these icons and just didn't know what they were. So it's this yellow icon right here. It's on the side of the email right there, or you can use a little pop-out to actually go to Google Keep, which I'm here. So when you're in a Google Doc, so if you had a Google Doc up, if you had your Google Slides up, right? Any one of those you're going to see on this right-hand side, those icons. Google Keep is a digital note-taking application. It's a way to take notes. I really love it because you can also get it on your phone. It's free, and who doesn't like to keep lists and notes? Things pop up all the time that you want to remember, you want to remind yourself of. Google Keep will be with you all the time. So I encourage you to try to keep yourself organized. Keep yourself organized. All right. So taking a note is very simple. You can the title if you want to put a title in here. You take your note, and then there's a lot of things going on. So you guys are working in groups, correct? Yeah. All right. So you're working in groups. On this side right here is where you can actually organize your notes and put them in categories. So one thing that you can do is create labels. So I'm going to create a label here. We're talking about the fines. So I had some notes that I wanted to take about the F, which is what? What was F for? What was the F for?
Focus.
Thank you. Focus. So this was these were notes that I wanted to take about, you know, oh, thanks, John. He shared it with me, so I can have something in here. So I have focus. Now the one thing that everyone will have to do is create their own topics or categories right here. Because unfortunately you can't share this. These are your own, but you can share notes. So I can take a note. You know, this is my note. These are some things I'm saying, right? I'm going to delete this one because I'm going to use this one right here. One thing that I like to do is the color code, right? So all of my notes that are in the focus section are going to have this wonderful green color so that I know, you know, I know right off the bat this belongs, you know, right here. And I have my team here. I want to share with my team. Now, because when you guys share with one another, you don't get a notification that somebody has shared something with you, but it works the same as a Google Doc. You know it's been shared, but you're not going to get an email saying, oh, I shared this, or somebody has shared this with you. You're just going to look here, and then you'll see, like this is a really good example. I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to pull this one up. This was a note that, and if I look under the people, you see all the people who were in this note. This was a note that I found, or John found, and we shared it with one another, shared it with Lisa. You have all the team members will be down here, and everybody can access this note. This is background information. There was a picture that we found from one of the historical newspapers. This is actually what it looked like after the massacre. And then there was a comparison picture from the Library of Congress. So this was some wonderful information that John had found and added a New York Times article. And so I want to put this in my eye, which I've colored that right there. So on my main note page, I can see, and you can imagine if I had several different notes, on my main note page, I can see right now that this is part of my focus, but this isn't because I changed the color. So it could be. It just depends on what you as a team decide how you want to color code your notes, a way to keep yourselves organized. How do I use this? All right, so you have Google Keep, which is going to be on everything. Now I know that we may be using Adobe Creative Cloud Express, okay, for your project, but it doesn't always have to be. You could be doing a paper in a Google Doc, a Google Slides presentation, any type of a presentation. The great thing about Google Keeps is if I were to open up a doc and it's really quickly once you're logged in to open up a doc, you just do docs.new, and you're going to get a new document. Now, right here, it looks like I lied. You're like, wait a minute, she said it was like on the side right here. It's this little carrot right here. So if it's not showing, if you open up a doc and it's not showing, it's that little carrot down there, little side panel that you open, and here it is. So you have a little mini calendar, you have Google Keep, you have tasks, you have whatever this is. What is that? Oh, contacts if you needed it. Believe me. You slide this on over. You slide this on over. Or you add to document. Right? There you go. with the 3 dots, because it didn't want to slide. And then that way, the point of what I'm saying is that as a group, you're working together, you're taking your notes, you're putting it on Keep, and you're putting it in a place where you can easily incorporate it into your end product, okay? Depending on what that product is. If it's a Google application, you can just add that information right on in here, and then you started your document, right? What kind of questions can I answer for you about Keep? Because I went really fast on this. But I want you to, if you have your computers up, when you get ready to get into a document, I want you to just try it out. Write some notes. Write some notes. Add some labels. Okay? Add some labels. Color code them. And then share them with everybody in the team.
You can send your Google Keep notes directly to Google Docs by going to the 3 dots saying Copy, Create to Google Docs. And then just click on Open Docs. It'll open up that doc. But if you don't want that document named, you can go and create a new document. Open up your Google Keep after you've named it by clicking on the Google Keep icon on the right. And then copy from your Google Keep notes to your Google Doc. That way you can create your own doc, just arrange it however you want to, and just share it out. It's that easy.
So this is going to become your best friend while you're doing a paper. I'm telling you this from personal experience. I'm currently enrolled in a master's program. I use this to keep track of my sources and my citations. Does anyone know why we cite?
So you
So we don't
need to
plagiarize? Well, right, but what, you're not plagiarizing. But what is, you're citing the intellectual property of somebody else. You're borrowing their information. And if somebody borrowed your information, would you want them to give you credit?
Yeah.
Right, so you're giving them credit. You borrowed their information, you're using it in your paper, but it's only proper to say, I got this from here. You can cite videos, sounds, database articles, newspaper articles. This is going to take you through building those citations. When I was a kid, we had to do all of this manually. You guys get to do it super easy, and it will just, you can copy it and paste it. That's going to make your life so easy when it comes to this. So in your project, you're going to just create, I'm remembering how to do this. You're going to come select your media type. Source. And it's going to be a database, a website, print or in hand, file, app, or ebook. Okay? This is super easy for you. For a picture, you would probably click print or in hand, book, magazine, reference source, or you could do file, app, right? Website, where you're going to get a photo or an image. So it's going to bring up this for you, where you're just literally going to fill in your information. It's not difficult. It's just something that you need to do. Because as you move on to college, they're going to check your papers for plagiarism. Every time I turn a paper into one of my professors, they turn it into something called turnitin.com. And they look for how similar what I've written is to sources. So it's going to help you in the long run, right? This is something you absolutely want to do. So I'm going to go ahead back into our Google Keep, and I'm going to pull up our Library of Congress images, and let's say we want to cite this image, right? This is something that you wanted to use and talk about in your paper. What did you see, and all of those things. So you're gonna click on it. I'm just gonna bring it up. Let's see if we can get it to come up better. There we go. Once you have your image, you can either download it, but it's gonna give you all of the information that you're looking for, see? You've got the date it was created and published. Who did it? So you're gonna come back here, you've got your title. You can literally copy it and paste it. I'm gonna copy it, I'm gonna come back over here to my noodle tools. And we're gonna put that in the title of the photograph. I'm gonna paste that in. If you don't have a title of your photograph, you're gonna click Untitled. And you're gonna go back and forth, copying all the information that you need. Okay, you've got your artist, you need your artist. So if I come back over here, do we see an artist? So we don't have an artist. What we're going to give them, well, we have to give a source, right? So what would our artist be? Who owns this? The Library of Congress did, but your subject heading is either American Red Cross or, right? You can use the American Red Cross as something who owns this.
There was something about the American
Here
Red
we go.
Cross in the
Photographer
caption.
name or source of original caption card or negative sleeve. This.rel. So that is going to be your artist. You're going to come back over here. And your artist, it's DIS, right? It tells you when I don't capitalize, it tells me. Is it REL? Okay. It's a photograph. Now, name of the container website. What is that? Can anyone tell me where is this image housed? Library of Congress. That's your container. The publisher of the site is the Library of Congress. The URL. We want the URL of the image. Copy it and bring it back. We need the date of publication. So, did anyone notice when was this image published? June. June of what? 1921. So we're gonna come over here and put June, we're gonna skip the date, and we're gonna add 1921. We accessed it today. So today is March 28, 29, and 2022. We got a photograph. Date created. June, of course, and 2021. If you need to add any annotations, you can do that. And you click Save. You've got your citation. So now, you could export those. Print to Word, export as a rich text, export it right to Google Documents. You're going to have your entire Works Cited page right here. When you have everything you're ready, you export it and you're good to go. Anybody have any questions about that?
Thank you for joining us for our third episode on the finds model, focusing on the N in finds, which is note-taking. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We've got a lot more to share, Next week, we'll be focusing on the D for develop, and we'll be talking more about using Adobe Creative Cloud Express using the website and the video features. And we'll have a special guest with us sharing a little bit more about that, and we hope that you'll join us next week. We'll talk about our rubric that we introduced to our students at the beginning, and we let them have input. And then in 2 weeks, we'll talk about the S, which is self-evaluate, and you'll get to hear from some of our students, some of our librarians that we've been working with, and our teacher, of course, on how they've liked this project and what they've learned from this project especially. We want to let you know that we want you to mark your calendar for our virtual learning experiences, which will be May 23rd through the 25th, 2022. We've got 5 very exciting virtual learning experiences that you'll hope you'll join with us. You'll see more information coming. It'll be in Principals Updates. It'll also be on our website, which is edtechtraining.palmbeachschools.org. So mark your calendars for May 23rd through the 25th. They'll be recorded as always, and so if you can't make the live dates where you can ask questions, you can also see the recordings. So thank you again, and we hope to see you next week when we focus on the D for develop in Finds. On behalf of the training team and the entire educational technology team, we thank you for joining us and hope that you will join us again.